Like 80% of us guys say in our Tinder profile, I'm a big environmental guy that loves the outdoors and the hike. Today we're going to prove it to the ladies by taking a hike through one of Castle's most maverick sub-themes, the Forestmen. Every guy I've known has a fantasy of residing in the woods, living off the land, fighting off what lurks, and protecting his family. The Forestmen sub-theme does that for you with its 8-set collection. It's too short, by the way, including the 2022 remake. Let's get to ranking this theme. First up, we have Smuggler's Hayride. It's the simplest of the collection, containing a farmer and a forestman. There's a bit of a story element. We have a forestman guarding a farmer. I'm assuming he's bringing his hay into town and trying to fend off any attackers. I do love how the cargo hold uses these fences on a hinge and uses 2x2 yellow bricks as hay bales. I absolutely love it when Lego goes beyond the confines of two factions hashing against each other. I just love seeing a simple civilian doing his everyday life. It just adds to the world building element of Castle. Crusader's Cart is a slightly bricked up version of the Smuggler's Hayride. This includes a larger carriage carrying more hay. We have 2 minifigures and we get a horse. These forestmen likely stole this carriage and is given away to the poor who need the food. The blue and black color of the carriage suggests they stole it from the Black Falcons. All around, a solid set. Crusader's Cart again? This is the same exact variant as the other Crusader's Cart, but the only difference is there's one more minifigure. I believe this variation was a European release. I don't know why it comes with an extra minifigure, but that's why it's a better set, because it includes just one more forestman, better for your collection. Next up, we have the Forestmen's Hideout, the original version, which I hear is a very nostalgic set to many people in the Lego Castle community. What I love about the Forestmen sets is the creativity of the builds. I absolutely love the hybrid castle tree builds, and this one does it justice, where we have a tree trunk and there's like a castle etched into it, which is just so fantastic. Plays in well with the story and motives of the Forestmen, where they need a hideout from the rich kingdoms they steal from so they can give back to the poor. This set includes 2 Forestmen, a tower that hinges open, which is great for playability, and a bunch of foliage pieces. This once $18 set now goes for about $800 to $1,000 for a new box condition. The camouflage outpost is just a beefier version of the Forestmen's Hideout. We have another tree tower build with a smuggler's hold built attached to it. There's a lot to this set. We have a tree tower with a lookout post on top. We have a room underneath it. There's a secret entryway on the side of the build where there's a rock that can open up, and there's an entryway for a forestman to exit or enter. And for the main play feature, there's a slope hinged on the side of the build where you can lift up and smuggle treasure in and out. This set is an incredibly clever build that strikes a great balance between minifigures, maybe almost too great with the fact that we have 6 minifigures between play features, the build design, and just the minifigures. It's overall a really solid set. For second place, we have the flagship set of the series, River Fortress. The interior of this play set is very lackluster, but it's ranked high on my list at second place because I believe the aesthetic of it is amazing. It's probably the best out of all the Forestmen sets. I love how there's a gray tower built in between 2 trees, just sitting in the middle of a river. It's cool that they added in a silly little minifigure going after a big fortress. How does he think he's gonna win? The build can hinge open, which just reveals a very boring and empty interior, but there's a cool little feature where there's a drawbridge and you can use a crank to reel it up. I asked you guys the other day what was the best Forestmen set, and it was actually a pretty close tie between the fortress and the river crossing. The fortress was favored by a small margin, but the crossing came in a very close second, and I have to say that the Forestmen crossing is #1 for me. The first thing that catches my eye is this unique base plate. I love the stream that's printed onto it. I love the idea that was executed in this set. It seems like a Forestman thing to have a rope bridge going across 2 trees over a river, which allows them to get to their destination faster and stealthily. The stone tower uses that idea of having a secret entranceway to hold treasure and people. I love how they use the tower on the right as just a tree, nothing else. I think that just adds to the stealthiness of them. I feel like back in the day, a collector could have just bought a bunch of these sets and used that tree to the right just to create a classic Lego forest with the Forestman set. Now that concludes the Forestman sub-theme, but this faction was included with other sets around the same time period, and also there's a resurgence of the Forestmen in newer sets nowadays. And alternatively, there's actually another sub-theme called the Dark Forest, which includes rogue Forestmen. The Dark Forestmen to me seems to be like more of an anti-hero group where they kind of use brutal methods to get what they need. For instance, the Dark Forest Fortress, we have a tree tower that can actually fall over and crush your enemies, or it can be used as a destructive element to the build. And this set straight up just has a dead minifigure within a tall tower on a tree cell, which the old Forestmen never would have done that. This small sub-theme came with 3 sets, with the Fortress being the best out of them and the other 2 being really weak and not that great. The Bandit Ambush is solid, but it's not offering much. And the worst set being the Hemlock Stronghold, which is an ugly conglomeration of bricks built into a tower. It's a fascinating sub-theme for sure, but nothing like the Forestmen. The Forestmen has been brought back to the daylight with some recent sets they've been involved with. And it makes me wonder if Lego's gonna be remaking some older sets or create an entirely new set on its own for the Forestmen line. Preferably, I'm kind of sick of remakes, so I hope they do something unique with the same stylistic approach to the old Forestmen sets with just newer building techniques, updated minifigures, and just more of an interesting story element layered in. The Forestmen sub-theme makes me want to be born in the 80s so that I can grow up building these sets. Because nowadays, if I want to buy one brand new in a box for one of the bigger builds, it's going to cost about $1,000 plus just for one new in the box. If I do find myself buying this set, I'm definitely buying a used because there's no way I am able to afford that. If you guys enjoyed this commentary on the Forestmen, I'd appreciate you if you subscribe for more content. Have a great day, guys, and bring back Lego Castle.